Can I ask a question, please? You had a debt of 50 billion rupees then. Today, your circular debt stands at 300 billion plus what Mr. Dastagir referred to as 301 billion, which is input another account. So it's a total of 600 billion. This figure is again widely disseminated.
You're talking about this energy, the
circular debt. I'm talking about the electricity.
Electricity.
Yes. Now, my question simply is that your government is printing 1 billion to 3 billion rupees. The figure is again disputed, ranges that much per day. Can you tell me how much your government is printing money?
Why did we, you see, let me...
Are you printing money in excess of 1 billion rupees a day?
Why did we had this circular?
Are you printing more than 1 billion rupees per day?
No. I'll tell you no.
Then how come the State Bank says you are?
State Bank, let me put you a question, that why and from where did we get this circular debt?
We know where it came from.
And you see, we 60 years, the life of the country is 60 years, and
Mr. Anwar, did the life of the country change dramatically in 3.5 years that energy supplies doubled and energy demand did not double?
Excuse me, we have tried our level best on this, and you see the committee has been formed and it is headed by a very higher forum, and it will answer
Ms.
the energy,
how much money does your government print every day?
You see, I don't have the figure, but I don't think we are not printing any money, and I tell you that must be what is being happening according to rules.
If she will allow me, and I think in
your let me complete first.
Okay, so finish your other point. We'll come to this point.
We will
come to this point.
Producers to bring the economic this year's
economic survey. We'll get the economic survey. The figure is there.
You get the economic survey or whatever survey you like to, but I must tell that if you are criticizing, my honorable colleague is criticizing the policies of federation, they must know that what we did to empower the provinces. Now, according to 18th amendment, what have they done? Now they have all the powers to generate electricity. It was 50 megawatts. Now they can generate electricity to what extent they, to what extent, excuse me, to what extent, no, don't interfere now. To what extent they like, what have they done? Till date they have done nothing. My brother, my brother.
Does that absolve, if they are incompetent, you say, does that absolve you?
No.
Your party, your government?
No, but they should not blame.
So let's say on your performance.
They should not blame. It has only been 3.5 years.
It's a job to blame the opposition.
It is only 3.5 years, and see in these 3.5 years what we have done. We have done a lot.
Let's ask a specific, what have you done?
We are trying it. My brother, I want to answer one question.
What have you done for the citizen of Pakistan?
No, excuse me. I want to answer one question. I'll answer this question also. Okay, let me answer this question.
Answer this question first, please.
Federal government work is to make policies. We made a policy. President Asif Ali Zardari Saab gave all the powers, his presidential powers. Now the powers has gone to provinces. The provinces should make a committee. Let me answer. The provinces should make a committee, different committees, and the trickle down effect will go to the grassroots. We sitting in the federal government, we can't pick up people and give them you see things. Now, what important thing I want to answer to my brother, he was talking about the foreign policy. What
we'll leave foreign policy for after the break, because I
want to answer that question.
We will. We'll return to it after break.
Briefly. We'll get the economic survey.
We'll get the economic survey. We're going to take a short commercial break. When we return, we'll get the economic survey, and we come to the foreign policy of the current government. Please stay with us. Welcome back to Witness. And before the break, Mr. Khurram Dastagir asked for the economic survey of Pakistan. We have got that for him. We are talking, of course, about the fact that the government's public debt has, according to the charges of the opposition, equaled the debt that was run up in the previous 64 years of Pakistan's history. That figure is often tossed around. Another figure that is often stated, and I'll let Mr. Khurram Dastagir respond to that now, your party has charged that the government is printing up to 3 billion rupees a day. Where does the money go? What does it happen? And you asked for the economic survey. What do you want to share with us?
I think if you can show your viewers this table on page 126 of the economic survey, which tells you what is the country's total public debt. And it tells you that on 31st of March 2011, Pakistan's total public debt was 10,020 billion rupees, 10020.
10,000 and?
20
billion.
20 billion rupees, total public debt. if you compare it, and again this figure comes out, this is not a charge of the opposition, on 30th of June 2010, that figure was 8,935 billion rupees.
Okay.
So in the first 9 months of the year, which is the last public statement that we have from this government borrowed 1,085 billion. If you just simply subtract 8,935 from 10,020, you get the figure of 1,085 billion rupees.
That's in trillions.
That is billions.
Billions.
So
no, but the total, when you say
the total is 10 trillion.
Yeah.
And at the end of the last fiscal year, it was nearly 9 trillion.
Yeah.
So this is where the figure comes from. So in the first 9 months of the year, they borrowed 1,085 billion. It means in 272 days, they borrowed 1,085 billion. That is $4 billion every single day.
Rupees. 4 billion rupees every single day.
So this is the figure. And now compare it as the actual figure of total public debt on 30th of June 2008, which is again on the survey, was 6,047 billion. So this government, according to this, had borrowed up to 31st of March 2011 nearly 5 trillion rupees. And you know the figure that has latest come out, as I've said, is now they have crossed 11 trillion. So that is nearly the same amount that all previous governments borrowed. And it's their own figures. It's not my figures. It's not a charge from the opposition.
My honorable colleague is talking about 2010. Let me make this clear that within these 3 months, the government has just paid off 130 Arab rupees of debt. Yes, you see, government takes
that is out
loan.
Of 11,000 billion.
And I can give you more. You see, figures also.
These are huge figures.
You see, yes, these are huge figures.
So this,
but let me tell you one thing. In these three, and I tell you, we are not printing any money. Let me make you
the past 3 months.
Let me make it clear. Before that also, and it is very wrong to say that every day we are printing millions and billions.
Clearly
and
you were, because I mean these figures
maybe before I don't know, but today you are talking of today, I am talking of today. So we have, you see, the debts 130 Arab rupees.
Do you dispute these figures in the survey?
That was in 2010.
No, in 2011, 31st March 2011.
But I am talking of today. I am talking of this day. Let
but
me tell
did you pile up this debt? Or are those figures wrong?
No, if the figures are there,
we have not,
we have not buried the country. We are helping the country to come out of this terrorism thing and this economical crunch. Why do you blame always? What have you done? Do you have any shadow policy? No, you don't have.
If you
have only blames.
I will give the shadow policy. But it is
not you, Khurram Dastagir Sahab. You don't have to give the shadow policy.
Your viewers are asking,
leadership.
Where did the money go? And the money has gone into
the money has gone
covering
nowhere.
The losses, the massive losses in state-owned enterprises. More than 300 billion every year.
They have been dumping it.
Why? Pakistan Steel.
Let me tell you one thing.
Pakistan Steel.
We are very fair.
In debt, 30 billion
yes,
rupees.
We are very fair.
Pakistan Railway, half of Pakistan Railway's engines are standing.
I don't
a quarter of PIA is standing on the runway.
You don't know about finances.
Let me tell you one thing, that our path is very straight. We want the systematic straight towards the very logical democratic end of this country, of this tenure, because you see what they are doing today is their March syndrome. Why can't you understand? This is a March syndrome, the Senate election. They are the Ides of March. You see, they are now aloof. They talked about grand alliance. No one wanted to stay with them. No one, not even a single political worker wants to stay with them.
Good for you, right? So why are you worried?
I am not worried. I am telling you the frustration they are having. It is just because this thing. I am inviting them. Come on, let us talk about the reconciliation again. Look at the Charter of Democracy. Why are you backing off from that?
Now, if reconciliation means that key economic institutions of Pakistan Steel destroyed, Pakistan Railways It's not a
No,
charge.
it's
People
not
of Pakistan
destroyed.
can see
Steel
it
not
is destroyed.
destroyed, railway
Pakistan
not destroyed,
International Airlines destroyed.
PIA not
Pepco in
destroyed.
the
a strong
No, no.
word. Destroyed is a strong
no,
word.
Why do you say
half the
destroyed?
engines
You
are
see,
standing
managing-
on stations, if a quarter of Pakistan International Airlines aircraft are
needs
standing
more
on the
better
runway,
management.
the institution is practically destroyed. If you have to
Katrina,
give in the last
it needs
3
better,
years,
it needs a little bit better.
1,000
bit?
billion in
A
losses.
lot
Yes.
better than
No,
what
no,
you
no,
have
no, no.
delivered.
Maybe a lot, but you see, management and
Are you
failure.
aware? Are you
Management,
aware, Ms.
Katrina,
Raja,
would you allow
that
me?
Pakistan Railways is
Would
planning
you-
to
would
shut
you
down
allow
passenger
me
services?
one
It's a
thing?
question. Are you aware that Pakistan Railways
You
is
don't
shutting
have
down
all the
passenger
questions.
services?
I have a question also. Please answer my question.
I don't have
Failure.
It's not my job.
You see, like, okay.
all they have done-
Let my brother tell me. What do you call management and failures are two different things. Okay, there can be a lack of management. A lot can be done, but you can't say it is a failure.
Why not?
Why? Tell me why.
Tell her why,
What,
please.
no, okay. What they have delivered to Pakistan in the last
What
2.5
have you
No,
delivered?
let me
why is
finish.
Pakistan Railways
Why?
a failure?
Let me finish.
Why is Pakistan Railways a failure? I'm short of time.
No, but
One
I'll just
organization.
say, what they have delivered to Pakistan in the last 2 years are 3 Ds: debt, darkness, and death. That's it.
Three
And
Ds?
Pakistan Railway is a failure
Development,
because essentially it is a
dialogue,
victim
and
of
deterrence.
reconciliation. They have given
Development,
it to one of their
development,
allied
dialogue,
parties and
excuse
allow
me,
it to plunder it as they
development,
wish.
Three Ds policies, they are talking, I think they have
That
gone,
darkness and
I
death, that's
don't
what
want
it
to say any harsh word, but 3 Ds is dialogue, deterrence and development, and we are doing that, and we'll take this
Where?
country,
Where?
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 We'll take the country out of all these problems.
Where?
When?
Rest assured. Rest assured. When do you talking about when? You have 11 years dictatorship. You have uninterrupted 8.5 years dictatorship. We have only got 3.5 years, and we have done what was not done
If
in
I may
100
conclude,
years.
I mean,
Okay.
I'll just give one example
What
of
are you
goodness
talking
management.
of?
Tharcoal,
Excuse me.
on which so many
Forget
of
it,
Pakistan's
Tharcoal.
energy
We're out of
hopes are
time.
rising.
We're out of time.
Government-
Let's not go into
the
this.
federal government has
Also started
refused
by
to build a
Muhammad
waterway.
Benazir Bhutto
The federal
Sheikh
government
Sahib.
has refused to build
They
a
are
road because they
talking
don't have the
of
money.
Tharcoal now.
What they are doing
It
is
was-
that they are throwing
Okay,
all their
we're-
money into political
Tharcoal,
synecdoches just to
Mohammad Benazir
enrich
Bhutto
their
Sheikh
cronies.
Sahib.
And
We
this
will
3
continue
Ds,
this
this debt,
debate.
darkness and
Bhutto
debt
Sheikh Sahib.
is really hurting and destroying
Okay.
Pakistan.
We're going to have to leave it there because I'm out of time. I'm sorry we didn't reach any solid conclusions in this program. I'd like to thank my guests, Mehreen and Anwar and Mr. Khurram Dastagir for having joined me in today's discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, the most crucial point over here right now is that, yes, the People's Party needs to complete its 5-year term. That is how democracy will be strengthened. But at the same time, the People's Party, from what is appearing in printed government documents, indicates that is not as financially sound as they could be. Their own Secretary Finance is saying that they will probably have to go to the IMF earlier than had been anticipated. The problems are serious. What is not going to help is refusing to exist the problem is there. Refusing to acknowledge that the problem exists, excuse me. Meanwhile, of course, the PML-N is continuing its protest, and that, of course, is what we believe a democratic right, even though Ms. Raja disagrees and she says that they should not be protesting in front of the President's office. I say it's a free country, protest wherever you want, but at the same time, of course, there must be no loss of life. There must be no loss of life or property. Meanwhile, we wait to see whether the government's new short-term measures on energy conservation are going to have any effect on the country's crisis. Quatrina saying Khuda Hafiz from Islamabad.